Hey guys, Shawn Casey here with Gift of Addiction, and today we're talking about nutrition, which is part of my Daily Basics series, how to manage your energy and positive mental attitude. So let's talk about nutrition. As far back as I can see in my own personal history, I love sugar. I remember 4 or 5 years old, drinking syrup out of the refrigerator, upside down pineapple cake, eating all the frosting off. I was the kid that when ready to spread frosting, I would get a can and just eat it out of the can until I was super active as a kid, so it wasn't like I got fat, but I was just living off sugar. And as you know, I was brought up, we didn't have a lot of money, so we ate a lot of fast food, a lot of burgers, fries. I remember Kraft macaroni and cheese, and that was my knowledge base. That's where I came from with nutrition. And so as I got older, it didn't go away. And it wasn't until I was 19 years old, training for my first bodybuilding contest. And I was in the bulk off season, and I was eating and eating and eating, but I was getting bloated. My face was swollen, dude, like a melon. And I was like, what's going on with me? And this older guy in the gym who was, in his mid-20s, a little further, and he said, Shawn, if you want to put on quality muscle, you need to eat quality food. And a light turned on. And so I took some guidance from him, and it changed my life. And that was for bodybuilding. But as you know, as my recovery, when I got into my recovery, the first year, I was lost. I wasn't doing drugs and alcohol. I was in a program, but I was depressed. And I started eating high carbohydrate foods, guys. And for the first time in my life, I started putting on weight and fat, and I felt terrible. And that led into bulimia. So I didn't want to get fat, and so I was binging on food, so I started throwing up. And that was super scary, guys. It was just this whole process of really abusing myself. Here I am binging and purging, and no, I wasn't doing drugs and alcohol, but this wasn't loving myself, doing this to myself, and then what it was doing to me mentally and what it was doing to me physically. And so about 8 months into it, I just had that another moment of truth. My awareness was high, right? I'm in my recovery. And I said, this is not a way to live. I'm here on a journey to be the best I can be. And this is not, I'm still damaging myself. So I started educating myself on nutrition and what it took to be healthy and well. I started that, but what happened to me is, guys, I started becoming anorexic. I went from binging and purging to then being obsessed with being lean, and I ate super clean, but I ate almost no calories, 800 to 1,000 calories, and I got into endurance sports, competitive cycling, and then swimming when I lived on Maui. And that's when I went from, I showed you that picture on Instagram. At one point I was 210 pounds in our off season. I went down to the 130s, guys. And what was going on is my body was eating itself. It was eating my lean mass for energy, my amino acids. And I wasn't thinking that clearly. And what happened to me, man, is I got back into bodybuilding. So I took some time off, about 3 years. And then when I started eating protein drinks, and I hadn't eaten meat because I was a vegan for a while, and that started feeling good. And I started becoming healthier again. And it's like, so what saved my life and got me away from the anorexia is I got back into bodybuilding, and I started eating again. I hadn't eaten red meat in years because I was a vegan, and I hadn't weight trained for a few years. So I remember quality muscle, quality food. And I started eating, but I was still obsessed with my body and my food, guys. I remember going to social events with some of my clients, top of the line catering, awesome food, and I would be there with my wife, and we would leave the party, and I would still go to my favorite place and get fish and vegetables. So it was still controlling me. And that's what I'm talking about. Food controlled my mind, and I had body issues, man, but I was still healthier. I wasn't anorexic anymore. I was maintaining a healthier body, and I kept educating myself. I was just reading a lot of books about the mind, about the body, and especially nutrition and how it affects your energy. We all know foods are healing, and if you have good nutrition, it's gonna prevent disease. It'll prevent obesity. It'll prevent diabetes. It'll prevent heart disease, other autoimmune diseases. There's so much that it manages your blood pressure better. High blood pressure. And so today, I want to get more at the mental health, and in recovery, which is so important, is for all of us to have our energy, constant throughout the day. The ups and downs. If we're not eating good food and we eat sugary foods, we're gonna get edgy. We're gonna get tired. We're gonna get grumpy. We're gonna say some things that we shouldn't have said. We may get ourselves into trouble. And more than that is, if you start drifting away and too foggy, you might find yourself relapsing. And I know that might sound far-fetched, but it's true. If you want real good recovery and you want to feel your best, you need to manage your nutrition with your mental energy. It makes a huge difference. And anyone out there that has long-term recovery, I'm sure they'll agree with me. But this has been my journey, and this is what has worked for me, and I think can work for you. So if you want to think your best, if you want to have clarity, if you want to make better decisions, if you want to have better energy and more of a positive mental attitude, learn about nutrition. Take responsibility for this. There's so much misinformation out there these days. There's this diet, that diet, and that diet. Do yourself a favor. Take this thing away. Write, get a journal. Start tracking your food. Everyone has different chemistry. What works for you? Start writing down what you eat, what you drink, and start like, how did you feel that day? How's your energy? And track that for a while. And so you'll start adding things and taking away things. And it's not about being obsessed about it, but it's more about being obsessed of feeling great and how you can best do that. Now, I'm not gonna get into all the science, but eat real food. The less fragmented processed food you eat, the better. If you can eat organic, that's even the best. But eat greens, eat veggies, eat your lean, good quality proteins. Eat your good fats, your nut butters, coconut oil, avocado, and I'm not gonna get into all this. I'm gonna give you some resource books. I tell you what, right now, this idea just came to me. If you email me your email, I will email you our nutritional guidebook. And it's awesome. It'll really open your eyes. And if you take some of this and use it, you're gonna get the benefits. So where my journey has taken me today is, I'm comfortable. Food is my friend today. It used to be my enemy. I used to be scared. Today, I know how to manage that the best for me. And it doesn't take my energy, and I don't obsess about it. It's just part of my fuel. It's part of thinking better and feeling better in my body is what works best for me. So that's all I got today. There's so much more, but start this journey about what works best for you. But I'm gonna tell you, it's one of the most important things for longevity and for mental health and physical health is nutrition. So I look forward to getting back to you. Please leave comments if there's things that you want more of, or even if you have ideas that you want me to do videos. I have a ton of experience, over 31 years experience in the health and fitness industry and over 28 years on my recovery journey. So have a great day, and we'll see you soon.